Hi folks, I'm the Newstarcadefan here, and welcome back to Tenshi. In the last episode, it was a trap, and we're here in the future, and we're going to continue on with Mizuki explaining exactly what's going on. They're very sparing with their jumps, which, well, is obvious since power is scarce around. Well, Rose should probably calm down. And Kyo actually, yeah, at this point, this should have been pieced together why the time transfer was so bad and why Michelle had him stuck down for that long. And yes, they are not gonna give up everything. Right, you really don't have choice in the matter. And wow, Mizuki is just, she's worse than Bunny when it comes to being saucy, so she crossed her arms, obviously getting impatient with Rose's attitude. And we don't want any trouble. And yeah, we still don't know exactly what's going on yet. Of course, they want to change their future, and Tensai doesn't exactly want to screw around with the time window. And there was no, exactly right, there was no way anything of this, but she's calling him out as a coward. Wow. Yeah, remember. Mizuki believes in the butterfly effect and in fate, and she's even running Bunny's nerves with this. Now their theory is time is the river and it will continue to flow down its own path despite actions, which is reasonable. They just want to right, this is what we've known from the past couple of episodes. This future is bleak. And there was no confirmation. And we know who the commander is at this point. The three of us looked up to a very familiar face of the shadows of a curvy figure who walked out towards us. Yup. Then there was yup. It's 100% Michelle. There's a reason why I hinted towards this in other episodes. She said at the top she's the only one who knows how to operate the time window and knows exactly what goes into it and so forth. And it is surprising. And they finally pieced it together. Yeah. She was operating the time window also for Bunny and Mizuki. So she was playing double agent. And that was for the whole time. And it started a few weeks ago before the fire. Exactly. She's the only one with the technical knowledge to know how to actually do this. And believe you or me, this actually is surprising. Well, she knew how to read the machine, but yeah. That's why Michelle knew exactly how much from the time window and how to actually make things easier for Bunny and Mizuki. Right, she knew something was wrong. It's ridiculousness, but it's the truth. She told Tensa, but he was furious. Yeah, to say Tensai was pissed is an understatement of the year. And she thought he was controlling and arrogant, but he was just afraid. Right, that's an absolute good reason on why he kept the time window secret as is. Yeah, foolish, but the reasons are there. Do you want the government just coming in saying, nope, this is ours now? Reminded me of an episode of Recess where Gretchen's science project was taken by the feds. The episode is a substitute. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, Michelle has a. We actually don't know what kind of person Tensai is, and we haven't spent much time with him. Which is true. It wasn't part of the plan. It's complicated, but yeah, we gotta start from the beginning. She gestured to us and willingly followed, still reeling from the revelation. Now that I thought about it, it was quite obvious, the muttering being the main one controlling the time. Yeah, it actually made sense. But still, the fact that she was working for both sides, who said that she favored more anyway? The entertainment have seen better days, but there's still enough room for us to sit. But still, it was rather off-putting. Yeah, he flipped his lid. Yeah, he got paranoid for correct reasons. He mellowed out, but he still had his eye on him, so he had to sneak into the lab. Oh, so that's why she was in the lab late at night, because she was right there giving Bunny and Mizuki the directions. She couldn't have gotten caught. Yeah, she knew they needed help. And she was right. Bunny and Mizuki needed instructions. I looked to the side and Rose was still looking up Michelle for her gaze. I could tell how betrayed she felt just looking at her, but at the same time there was a glimmer of worry. It was then as she glanced down at her chest, looking to see if the swelling while it was trapped in the future. Hey, it's gonna be okay, I whispered this and took her hand, gently smoothing it in a reassuring manner. She looked over to me to give me a weak smile, nodding while doing her best to keep from tearing up. Oh boy. All of these things have been happening so quickly for her. It was obvious that she was deeply terrified, but she was doing her best to keep a brave face while it all happened. And now to continue in the sense of the messages. Basically, what she's saying is as soon as the communications became clearer and clearer, she was able to help them out. She couldn't bring them back here to help them escape their plight. Yeah, that's exactly why Michelle was hyper worried about us and the talk. The time window can and will kill if it decides to. So she helped them to give them an opportunity to change their future. Right. Changing the future wouldn't destroy everything, but we still don't know. Right, they wanted to, but yeah, that's why it's still unknown. That's not the work. a paradox. And this is where that idea came from. Michelle smiled devilishly and stepped towards me. I wasn't used to her new outfit, but since she was in a different time, she had her own time suit and everything. Needless to say, it was just as revealing and durable as the others. No crap. And this is where we go back to the fire on its 18th birthday. And she has a plan. And a very important choice is gonna be made. Don't worry, Kenji, you'll find out soon enough. Because there's a real risk behind it. They have to put everything in one shot. Yeah. Here's where the painful choice comes into play. And there's where the flashbacks happen. And Tenshi can't find Michelle at all. Yes, he's the only one. You're the only one in the lab right now, old man. Right. This is exactly what Project Paradox was leading up to, and this is exactly what the choice Kenji was facing. Michelle's blasé attitude towards her previous statement made my skin crawl. Did she actually suggest we go back and burn down my parents' house? My head was swimming. I felt faint. This couldn't be happening. It had to be a misunderstanding, but it was so blunt. It was hard to believe that was anything but the truth. Still thinking, I lunged over to her puree. All these feelings. Wow, Kenji, keep it down, would ya? Basically, she's faster than you and she's stronger than you. You should have known that from the time she talked to you the first time. Right. But we... Right, now this is the question that at the top that was asked. If you can go back to, can anybody be responsible with time travel? And this leads us to the second question. If you can go back in time to fix just any one thing, what can you do? And she separated everybody. She understands this. Yeah, Mizuki didn't have the best upbringing. And yes, it will be a difficult day. So we've learned a lot about most of these characters. And there's no way we can relax. Don't try to sneak out, Kenji, because yeah, smooth move 007. It was Mizuki. She knows where she knows where you are. you idiot. Oh, wow. Well, for Killer Kunoichi, yeah. Hi. Yeah, the classic cartoon fantasy in here. It's not quite a coincidence. I'm aware of my state of undress. I'm choosing not to worry about it. Well, she's more modest, but still, she's not, which is true. Yeah, we do need to have a long talk. I took the seat offered and watched as she picked out some clothes from her closet. I did my best to avoid and such a task wasn't necessarily easy. Remember, Kenji, she can kill you in 5 ways. Yeah, she was trying to. Yes, there's a lot of things. Yeah, the thought of being the parent's murderer. Actually, this is. Actually, Mizuki offered us a now. You'll see why in this minute. He's not cruel. She's trying to keep the details so not to sway the decision. To make it clear, it's not it's a bit unfair, but the two options. It's simple. There are 2 possible ways to go. Either we do it or we don't. Exactly. There's a lot of risk. Yeah, Mizuki laid it out on the line for us. If everything fails, then we'll forget about everybody. We're honoring basically, yes, our time in life is being altered. And if everything is correct, something better will happen. But she's very well at risk. Right. We only have exactly 1 night to do this. How did she pull her turtleneck from her body? Oh wow, huh? I'll take a bite just as once if you like. So who said Mizuki was all work and no play? Sure. Oh wow. This is the same question that Kyo asked us way back. We haven't actually had a chance because, you know. Oh wow. I don't think so. Your self-control is. Yeah, she has. Yeah, Kenji has a lot of self-control. It's something so reluctant yet so willing. You have to remember that even though girls like me like to be respected, we still like to have as much fun as you have some fun while you can. She donned her casual clothing once again, standing from the bed. Thank you, Mizuki. You're welcome. I'll let Penny know that she can allow you into Rosa. She doesn't have to know. Now that I think about it, I'll be able to send both to your room without raising much suspicion. But you have to keep it down, I'm afraid. So, all funny business. Which is true because we really don't need to be killed. So it turns out, for now, Mizuki knows exactly how to handle things. We're back in the room. Mizuki nodded, leading me back to my room before rushing away silently in a traditional stealth-like manner. In a few minutes, my door slightly cracked open, Bunny's face popping in. There was a slight smack from the other side of the door. Yeah, that's Mizuki keeping. Right, they're standing guard. With that, Rose and Kyo stepped in and tenderly meek looked upon their faces, meaning they really don't know what to do. Before I say anything, they rushed up to me in an embrace. I can feel them shaking. The door shut behind us as I led them both into the room. Rose sat next to me on the bed while Kyo took a chair nearby. I insisted I sat on the chair myself, but she smiled and waved me back, saying she found chairs more comfy. We sat there in silence for a bit until I finally spoke up, wanting to get Mizuki's words off my mind. Rose nodded as Akio and they thought about this for a bit. That's exactly it, Rose. We don't know, but at the same time, Rose gave us an out. Alright, there's a lot more. Can't backpedal from this when we care about you, but there's a lot that we have to deal with. And they actually took great care of us. And that's right, especially after we got snatched in a time window from earlier at the top and Kyo was beside herself. We can change the future, let the pain in the present continue. This was an opportunity Michelle was giving me. The fact that she knew I was the one who burnt out my home seemed a bit suspicious for me, but if it was for the sake of whatever timeline she had in mind, I must not have noticed myself shaking because Rose's arms were wrapped around my shoulder. Kyo was looking at me worriedly. She stepped away from the chair and sat at the edge of the bed, wrapping her arm around my waist. Her head leaned on my shoulder, comforting me as well. It's a hard promise to make. I looked up at Kyo and a melancholic smile on her face and I nodded. Yeah, we have one choice to make, no matter what. Kyo nodded as did I. With that, there was a knock on the door. Yeah, we chose Kyo because she was with us. She wanted a moment with us. Yeah, Kyo was still getting over being the wallflower. And we kissed again. We both sat there for a moment, which had to Mizuki clear her throat and Kyo pulled away. Yeah, it's time to get back to the quarters. She's your favorite then? I mean, can't say no more. Choosing between the two is like choosing between two brands of fine wine. Which is true. You can't go wrong. You're lucky enough to get some. Am I correct on that? Yeah, I guess that's one way of putting it simply. Complex romantic situations were never my forte. Congrats regardless. Now then, get some rest. Tomorrow's already here, but it hasn't completely risen yet. Right. With that, she blew out the candle and stepped out of the room. I laid in bed, thoughts still burning in my head, but somehow I still fell into a restless sleep. Yeah, we had to tell him. She didn't want to, but it let her spring him on here before he had to do it. Hey, but we still don't know all the details. Yeah. There's a lot of consequences and it's a risk that Michelle's willing to take. Right. The room was quiet and rapid tapping. This is where the tough choice comes in. I was shaking in this decision. It's going to be one of the hardest I had to make in my whole life. It shouldn't have been, but this fair everything is falling apart because of this one decision was. We gotta go through this alone. And Michelle still knows exactly what's going on. They will die. Well, then Kyo was silent, looking down at the still gigantic chest abashedly. Let's get going. A white light in the center of the machine grew brighter as the time window opened. Before it all seemed so welcoming, if not so strange, but now it only filled me with dread. Soon, both Michelle and I stepped through, leaving everyone else behind. I took one last look behind me to see the others. Mizuki with her solemn yet knowing glare, a bunny with a wry, hopeful smile. Both Kyo and Rose were fighting back tears, but they waved me off as I was going to a funeral march. It didn't have to be this way. Soon we were within the time window, the world going fuzzy like it had in other trips. It took a while. Michelle was standing next to me, almost got at me, but with a stern look on her face. Eventually, the world materialized once more, and I could see again. What I saw was my old neighborhood, my old house, completely as it was before the accident. But it wasn't an accident. The world I was currently in experiencing this accident was something that was purposely caused by my hand. Michelle turned to me and bent forward with a serious look upon her face. On the ground next to her was a bottle that had always been there. Why had she been planning this project? Regardless of my thoughts, she picked it up. It's a Molotov. This is ultimately our choice. She knows about this, but my hands clenched on the bottle, feeling as he has a chemical. Right, we don't want to do all of this. Neither one of us knows this. We were silent, standing there, staring at my home. A figure walked out of it, and I this figure to be me from 1 week ago. It was strange to even think about seeing myself from a different time, but it was something I couldn't ruminate on it for long. And this is our choice. Either we do or we don't. I just stood there for a moment thinking about the events this week, how many horrible things had happened, and all the great things that happened. In the No Rose, Kyo, even Mizuki and Benny. It has been a strange yet wonderful existence. I threw this bottle. It would continue, but if I didn't, it all could disappear. Now, this is a tough choice, and this visual novel has a bad end. Well, the endings are both bad, and Michelle gets affected either way. However, we're going to say not throw the bottle and save our family. I stood there and thought of Kyo's words and of Mizuki the well. About time being the river that we travel on, changing whatever was before we could only alter what was ahead, right? As confusing as it was, I felt that for a brief second, if I didn't throw the bottle, if I didn't cause the place to burn down, then somehow, someway, everything would work out. I set the bottle down, looking at Michelle sternly. I'm not doing this, Michelle. Michelle merely smiled and picked up the bottle, grabbing the pitcher that was next to her, dropping it and dousing the flames. She knew things would change, so here's how things going. The time window didn't like that at all. I can hear Michelle's words as suddenly blacked out, the world disappearing. With that, Kenji vanished right in front of Michelle's eyes. She merely stood there for a moment, mouth agape, then suddenly shook her head, stepping towards the light that appeared nearby. That wasn't supposed to happen, but Michelle was awestruck as she stepped through the time window, traversing back to the time with Keel and Rose. She made it back to the lab, sensing the air around her was much more dense than before. Oh, things are going to be a lot different. Time itself is trying to fix the paradox it's created. This timeline, everything has fallen apart. Michelle smirked as she collapsed over. Uh-oh. As she did, the clothes on the girl slowly disintegrating fierce as they normally did when they were in time other than their own. And we're back. With those words, the world went black. For a moment, it really seemed to be an empty void, like a comatose dream that could never be woken from. And eventually, Kenji's eyes flitted open, seeing the ceiling of his bedroom, his old bedroom, from his old house. Wow, what happened? I feel sick. I leaned over thinking I might throw up, holding the trash can in front of my face. I anticipated it, but nothing came. We fixed our own timeline. We changed our timeline. For a while, I just sat there, composing myself as the world stopped spinning. Where was I? Was I home? Was this home? I looked up and down. Yes, this was my old room in my house. But it never felt old. It was just the place I lived in. Suddenly, there was a knock on my door and it cracked open. A sweet voice rang from the other side. This is Kenji's mother. Right, so we saved her life, and we saved our parents' life, but changed the timeline. It's off to the lab. It's 6. We'll be back home then. Suddenly I lunged forward, embracing her and laughing. Yeah, that's an actual mom question. What has gotten into you lately? That's nightmares, I guess. Really? You're 18. I'm sure you can handle some bad dreams by now. True. I pulled away from her and dashed downstairs, making my way down the door, where I did a call back up to her. I practically did a marathon sprint all the way to the lab, fueled by adrenaline and joy. I made a mad dash to the field where the lab was, which was surprisingly not far from where I lived. Had to change location where the always this close. I couldn't remember nor did I care. Eventually I made it to the entrance and pressed the call button and a voice rang out. There was a silence for a moment before the elevator dinged. The door swiftly sliding open, beckoning me to come inside. I practically jumped inside, pressing the lowest floor button, hopping up and down in my anticipation to see the lab. Finally, it dinged again. I opened to see revealed Keel standing in the doorway. Before I could say a word, she tackled me into a hug, laughing and crying at the same time. You were okay. It's just been so confusing. Yeah. We stared at each other for a moment before Keel pulled forward and kissed me, pulling back and smiling. I was a bit stunned, but smiled. And the others wants to see us. Keel took me by the hand, practically dragging me towards the lab, pushing the doors open. And there's the gang. Inside was the crew, Rose and Michelle Tensai. Runner was Ivan, showing Mizuki and Benny in their own time period. We made it out alive. Michelle walked over to me, sauntering over a smirk before placing a hand over what's Yeah, she made the right turn. Yeah, those are a bit fuzzy. Yeah, we only lost a week of memories. And here is where trouble really begins. Izuki and Bunny's connection was everybody is worried. Uh-oh, and Michelle got sucked through the time window. Michelle was standing closest to the time window, screaming as half her body was engulfed by its embrace. Before it could take her anywhere, the power surge ended and the time window closed shut. Michelle was caught between her time window. Uh-oh. There is not much we can do. Oh, my head. I stood rubbing the back of my sore head. I looked around, seeing Rose and Kyo come in too. Tenshi stood next to me, helping me up as I regained a sense of reality. Grandpa, what? Well, I'm afraid that with every action in time, there's a reaction. Can't mean. I'm afraid I do. Michelle tampered with time. She tried to take control of it and use it for her own purposes, good or evil. It doesn't matter. I warned her about this and she shrugged it off. That time wanted to be sure that she never interfered again. Rose slowly stood, blinking harshly so her eyes could adjust to the light. At this point, I'm not sure what the time is. All I know is I've tampered with it enough for my age. Michelle knew how to use the time window even better than me, so I'm not sure what will happen now. They will find a way, I promise you. He's not shocked in the least bit. He's saddened by this. But he did warn her the actions. And yes, she got exactly what it came to her. Thomas cruel. He walked away heading towards the lab's exit. You may know us, Kenji, but this may well not be adventurous telling. We all turned and looked at Rose, her hands clenched and fists, tears streaming down her face. And yeah, despite the consequences and the risk, we need to continue because, yeah, no matter what happens, yeah, we actually need to, yeah, it wouldn't feel right to throw all this away at nap, you know. However, things just got real in a hurry. And this, as we stood there, a light emitted from the time window yet again, but it was a little different this time. We turned our heads and looked. We were shocked by what we saw. This, however, it's not over. And guess what? That's the end of time, Tenshi. Despite my little slip-ups, I actually enjoyed this visual novel playing it once so early. And I also enjoyed doing this again for you guys. Of course, this is the good end. The bad end, I'm just going to spoil. I'm not going to spoil it because you got to play it for yourself. But either way, I'm the Newstarcadefan here, hoping to do Tom Tenshi 2 in the near future. And of course, here's the credits. Though I do hope you enjoyed this project as much as I did. I hope you had fun with it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Of course, don't forget to rate, follow, and subscribe to me on YouTube because VidMe will not be a thing after the next Friday because every little thing helps. Of course, I'm the Newstarcadefan here. Thanks for watching this entire project. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good night or good eve. Have a good day or good evening wherever you are. I'm slipping over my words today. And finally, bye for now.